Guys, I learned something really interesting today.
Really? What about?
This surgeon named James Barry.
Who's that?
Oh, I've heard about him before. Didn't he do something related to C-sections?
Yes, she did. Margaret Ann Bulkley was born in 1789.
Hold on. She?
Well, she was referred to as a he for most of her life.
Whoa. Who's Margaret Ann Bulkley?
Well, after the original James Barry died.
Original
James Barry?
Okay, why don't we let the experts explain?
Born in 1789 in Ireland, Margaret Ann Bulkley faced a traumatic childhood until she and her mother moved to London in 1804.
This is where they met friends of her uncle, who was conveniently dead. His name was James Barry.
Margaret stunned all these folks with her intelligence. They agreed to let her take on the name James Barry. Since it was illegal for women to go to medical school, she took on this persona to pursue her education at the University of Edinburgh in 1809.
As Margaret poofed from existence, she wore a thick coat and shoe inserts to reinvent herself as James Barry.
Becoming a doctor at 22, Dr. Barry took a job as an assistant surgeon in the army and eventually began his medical career on July 6, 1813 as a hospital assistant.
He then served in Cape Town, South Africa for 10 years, where he befriended the governor, Lord Charles Somerset, who some suspect knew Dr. Barry's secret.
As you may have suspected, considering the times, many rumors went around about this relationship.
As a very skilled surgeon, he performed the first cesarean section in which both the mother and child survived. A cesarean section, otherwise known as a C-section, is a surgical procedure in which an incision is made on the mother's lower abdomen for the child to be retrieved from the mother's uterus. C-sections are only performed in the case that a regular vaginal birth would harm the mother or child.
Within his 10 years in Cape Town, he advocated for better water systems and helped those poor or rich.
He then moved to Mauritius in 1828, where he was convicted and arrested by a fellow army surgeon for being unbecoming of an officer. He was found not guilty.
In 1857, he became Inspector General in charge of military hospitals and continued his advocacy for sanitation, proper medicine, and food for those who weren't often thought of, such as soldiers and their families, as well as prisoners.
Dr. Barry died from dysentery on July 25, 1865. Only then did it become public that he was actually a she when they saw his female anatomy and pregnancy-associated stretch marks in a post-mortem examination.
Do you get it now?
Yeah, I wonder why I'd never heard of her before.
Maybe she was overlooked in history because of her gender.
Probably. No matter her gender, she is still an incredibly impressive doctor whose work changed the face of medicine forever.